Welcome back to the Scatterpot podcast, episode.
58.
All right, 58.
Dude, we've been doing this a long time.
It's been a long time. Uh, this is kind of a weird day for both of us, or a weird kind of thing going on with us, because
I'm gonna lower my cam.
we were gonna have a special guest today, but
Yeah, and it's not well, I mean, it's a little sad that this friend of ours couldn't record. He's been in the podcast before. He has made an appearance. But
this is correct.
But we tried to get him on and it just didn't end up working out. But hopefully once this all comes, he says he'll be interested to join us probably once all this all clears up. So let's hope that's true. So yeah, we're gonna try to have guests in these quarantined episodes because spoiler alert, there's nothing happening in the world besides this quarantine.
Yes, sir, dude. Yes,
so
sir.
it becomes hard for the two of us to make conversation.
Yeah, content's kind of lackluster right now, boys.
Because there's only so many times you can ask, "What did you do this week?" When the answer is stayed home and did nothing. Stayed at home, did nothing. But it's something we can talk about today, since this is unusual for us because we are recording this pretty last minute.
Yeah, this is like
today is Easter. We are recording this on Easter Day.
It is Easter, boys.
I got, I don't know why, but the basket my mom gives, all the candy was Reese's, like all of it.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, here's the thing. I love Reese's. Like, Reese's. I don't care how you pronounce it. Only thing I care about is if you call them... I don't care what you call it, but Reese's Pieces, you can't change the pronunciation of pieces in my mind.
Reese's Pieces?
Yeah, because there's people that say Reese's Pieces. There are people who say Reese's Pieces, but then there's people who say Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. I swear they said that on a commercial like one time.
Really?
I feel like they did, and that's the only reason people say it. Look at that, you're stacked.
All these, dude. And then I also got I got the cross, and I ate the
you ate the head.
Yeah. It's just, dude, yeah. And hopefully, if all goes according to plan, after we finish recording this, my family and I are gonna play a throw burrito, which is a board game I have.
Mm-hmm. That's just for me later.
I was like, why'd you send a message labeled "Fun Fact Chocolate"? No, but all right. So yeah, quarantine's still happening. Easter is going on. What did you and your family do for Easter?
Nothing. I mean, we had a church. We just watched church, like we've been doing, and then I mean, that's about it.
So my family woke up, watched church, which it was funny because I had to like monitor stuff for work. So like they're all watching it, and meanwhile I'm looking on a laptop, looking at stats like.
Yeah.
And it's it was so funny because they kept on like asking me these questions, and since like I was part of almost all the filming of it, I knew all the answers. I was like.
You have the insider's view, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So, I'll say. So, typically, what we've been doing with this quarantine is our band would be playing on the stage,
right?
And we would just play to an empty audience, and
yeah.
And I mean that was fine. It worked.
Right.
But they wanted to do this special thing for Easter, where they wanted to record in our studio we had, which.
Okay.
Studio is in mega quotes. Cause,
was that the Snapchat you sent earlier?
Yeah. That was the Snapchat I sent on Tuesday. It was when I say studio for those. It's so our church, the church I work at, has a house. Not on the campus, but right next door to the campus that they bought. And they sort of, it's like the intern/staff house. Basically, anyone on staff who doesn't have a home or is in between places can live there. I don't think anyone lives there at the moment, but they basically turned the back half of it into a recording studio. Mm-hmm. And I sent Huber a Snapchat of it.
It's like...
Well, let me tell you, it sounds great, because, I mean, the equipment in there is great. It's just...
It's just it's super small. It's like everybody's compact in like literally one room.
That room I showed that was in that Snapchat, 10 people were in there. Like the the maximum amount of people. And the funniest part is how I had to sit. So my job, the only reason I was there is because fun fact about people who don't know this, most worship leaders at churches sometimes like they know the songs, but sometimes they don't know the lyrics. So they do a system called a confidence monitor, which is typically behind the sound booth. So it's like where they're looking, it's up in the air, and it basically has the current slide and the next slide. So they so they know what's going on. I was only there to be their confidence monitor.
Yes, sir.
Like I was going through the songs with them, and because we had like 4 cameras and one guy walking around with a camera getting like separate shots, I'm literally, imagine a piano seat, like a typical piano seat. I am curled up in a ball, like
hot,
like on a piano seat with a my laptop on my knees with a monitor in front of me facing them. And it was there were multiple times I noticed during the recording that our worship leader Zach Barry like would make eye contact with me and start laughing because I'm like this 6-foot guy just crammed,
like scrunched up into this like
and I was
little
just
ball.
I just see him looking at me just like just, and he was like, and the thing is that room was so incredibly loud because the drums weren't caged, and it's a recording studio, so all the sound, like, it doesn't have to sound good when they play live. It's all the sounds are getting put into a computer for him to edit it later. So all I could hear were the drums. I couldn't hear them singing or anything else. So I had to stare at their lips intensely to try to figure out what words they were on.
You're like,
So, like, they're looking at me, and they just see a scrunched up ball staring at their lips, like... And they were, that was fun.
Was that the highlight of your week?
No, today something pretty funny happened.
Oh.
So my mom always liked the idea of scavenger hunts, and so does my family. We all like to hunt down our baskets.
Right.
But the thing is that to spice things up, the last couple of years she's been doing puzzles.
Okay.
So each person, she gave all of us a Friends the Show trivia puzzle, and we were running all around the house trying to solve all the different answers. And it was incredibly stupid because, like, the thing is that typically we would all get our own separate puzzles and then we'd figure it out, and typically and all our baskets were hidden in different spots. This year it was one puzzle that all 4 of us had to solve, which none of us worked together. We were all trying, because she said try to do it separate as much as you can. But it was the same step. So, like, point A would take you to B to C. So someone would be stuck on A, but then just follow them to B. And it was like that. And then all the gifts. The funniest part about it is Caleb bit me.
What the? What the?
So,
do we need to talk about this?
So what happened is so I'm trying to win this, but they're mooching off me. Cause like I'm figuring out an answer and I'm going, and they're just walking and following me. So I got really upset about it. So what I tried to do at least, was we went to one of the parts of the puzzle took us to the unfinished part of the basement. My goal was to lock them in the unfinished part of the basement.
Okay.
So I'm rushing out the door, and they think, I did solve the puzzle that was in there, and so they're following me. So I'm trying to close the door on them to lock them in, and Caleb just bit me.
Just straight up.
He just straight up just jumped
What the
right
crap?
here. Like I'm pushing the door like with my left hand and like
Bro.
pushing him back with my right, and he just went straight and jumped me.
Oh
right.
my god.
There's a mark.
Yeah, no, it looks like he broke skin.
He did break skin, and it's incredibly sore. Like it doesn't look like a bite mark, but he just like pinched down. Like he just went.
Bro, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he like? I want to know the thought process.
Like that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, wait, Caleb. And I asked him when it was all over, why biting? And he goes,
was it just like in a moment thing, and then you just went on, or
and he was like, and he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I mean, why biting? And he goes, well, I mean, you were pushing me, and you were trying to push me into the door, and so I bit you. And I'm like, no.
That's not exactly.
That's the part we're trying to figure out. Why biting?
Yeah,
like, why not like pinching or like pushing? You went straight for biting.
He went straight for the source.
So when we finally finished it, my mom was upstairs and she had our baskets. She handed them out, and then I just said, "I'm like, oh, fun fact, Caleb bit me," and I showed her the mark, and my mom was like, "Why'd you bite him?" And he's like, "He was pushing me." I'm like, "Then why jump immediately to biting?" Like,
yeah, he kind of goofed on that,
and it was so funny. Like I don't know. I asked him like, why biting, and he's just like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, you were pushing, and I just bit.
You were pushing,
and I'm afraid I'm gonna become stupid now, like a zombie outbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I'm gonna bite someone next.
The bites.
Yeah, the bite of 87.
The bite of 87. Yeah.
Boom.
Title.
Dude, oh my god. So
easy clap.
So this, we can talk about this for a second. So the stay at home has been pushed to April 30th for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then the state of emergency quarantine technically is to like March 18th or something like that, right? Where did they
March
get pushed?
18th?
May 18th. May 18th.
Okay, I was like, March is a little bit away.
Yeah. Hold on, I want to see new quarantine date. Like it's. I mean, I'll be fine. I'm a little tired of the work I've been having to do because of it. But yeah, I'll be fine. Are you planning on going to Stone Mountain if you can tomorrow?
I probably wouldn't be able to, even if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to, because I it's funny, I've actually already been to Stone Mountain in this quarantine, because our for Easter we did a sunrise service on Stone Mountain, which meant I had to hike up Stone Mountain with a backpack of 50 pounds of camera equipment. So I've already done my time. Like, so
you did your time.
So I'm gonna try to if I can, but if my parents say no, I'm not exactly gonna go like, screw you guys.
Thank you.
I'm like, I'm an adult. If they say no, I'm gonna be like,
all right, fine. Yeah.
Like, and so that's what it's gonna be. So that's why, like, I actually am working tomorrow, but I was kind of hoping that, like,
yeah, they're like, we can push it back till like that. I'm sitting there like, well, I mean, I understand like why. Oh, let's wait for. Okay, I'm gonna check real quick. I believe they said like. She said 4.
It currently, as of recording, it's Savannah, Alana, Pickle, JB, Andrew, and me. So that's 6. With Daniel being a potential 7th, because he never said like I'm in, but like he's expressed interest in it.
Right.
So
4 or 5. We plan to start hiking around 4, and then we could go pick up food afterward. That's fine. It works with me. So yeah. Yeah, with hiking at 4, I thought y'all would like throw frisbees or something. But hiking 4, and then yeah. So I'm surprised Stone Mountain's open. In all honesty,
I mean, they're a park. It's like, well, here's the thing. So we found this out when we went to record. The mountain trail is open. The park itself is closed.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
So like the town area and all the shops and stuff like that is closed. But the actual mountain trail,
I'm assuming the shop up top, right?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, when I went up there, it was like 6 a.m. So like, of course, it was closed.
Yeah, some teenager.
I think that was closed. Yeah, that's the thing. So like, it's basically like the only thing that's still open are like the mountain trail itself, and then the multiple wood trails they have.
Right.
And like, but like the actual park, the sort of the theme park part of it is closed.
God, reduced to atoms.
Reduced to atoms. Yeah, no, but I'm if I can go, that's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna relax, hike a mountain.
Yeah. Vibe.
And like, it's because when I was hiking it with all the gear, I was like, man, this would be nice just to do like not with all this gear, because we started hiking at 5 a.m. because we had to get that sunrise.
That's rough. Golly.
So like, it was dark. It was nice and cool though. That was nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. The cool part probably is the best part about it. But.
So, but like, and especially that last. If any of you have ever hiked Stone Mountain, first off, if you live in the Georgia area, try it at least once. It's fine. But it's a pretty simple climb up until the last quarter.
Oh yeah, the last little bit is
the last little bit.
Like this.
The last little bit's the worst. But like, when you start off, it's pretty like,
yeah, it's like a very slight incline.
It's like 25-30 degree incline.
It's not that bad.
And then about halfway you're going close to like 35 sort of. The whole last fourth of it is like a 45-degree incline practically. And then the last chunk
like they have ropes and stairs and handrails to get
up
there.
The last, do they have stairs now? I don't remember stairs.
I thought they had stairs.
No,
might not be.
They have the handlebars. They have the handle rail. I'm like, dude, I could not see the stairs? The last little bit, like, it's probably like the last 50 feet of it. No, 25 feet. It's not that much. It's like,
it's not that much, no.
Like the last 50 feet of the mountain is like a 70-degree incline.
It's crazy. It's like they couldn't like even find another way to make it easier, or like.
But there's like these handrails, and you haven't lived unless you've done the joke of like.
Yeah, climbing.
No, fun fact. Man, I wish Sam Dean was here. Sam Dean was the one we were. Because Sam Dean's parents had passes, and Sam Dean and I, when we were younger, used to always go up there. We used to, like, because Sam and I used to always hang out after church because our parents went to the same church. And so, like, we would leave, like, either Sam would come to my house after church or I would go to Sam's house after church, like, almost every week. And when I would go over to Sam's house, sometimes we would go up Stone Mountain and like, dude, oh, man, we crawled under giant boulders that we should not have crawled under, because
I know,
like that. Yeah, there's that little there, like, especially right near that top bit, there's like this boulder that a lot of kids like either hop on top of or crawl underneath, and it's like you're like, that's not safe.
There might be a snake under there.
So like Sam and I used to go up there a lot, and so that's dang it, Sam. Gosh, so I have to ask you, Huber.
Yes.
I've been seeing that you've been playing some Skyrim.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on as to why you're playing a 9-year-old game?
It's still great after 9 years.
Dude, it's great. I played it back in 2017 on my Switch.
I will say, for 2011, it was amazing. For now, it's terrible, but.
It's the best we have in the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. With mods, it becomes better, but you definitely can tell the animation. You can tell where they didn't focus their efforts to like animations.
So
I have mods to give me more animations.
Did you get the definitive edition, or did you just go with like the standard edition?
I think when I got the game, it was standard. I didn't think.
Well, because I know they re-released it back in like 2015 or something like that, 2016. They released like the definitive edition for like PS4 and Xbox One.
I think I downloaded the game and I got the DLC with it.
Well, no. By definitive, I mean the remaster they did, like not the remaster, the repolish per se. Like they released a version called like, I can't remember what it was, but they released like a console version that was slightly updated graphics and stuff like that, meant to run on. Or do you have like the original, like 2011 Skyrim?
I'm looking it up on Steam. So I have the. Yeah, I have the original.
Okay.
I do not have the remastered.
Yeah, special edition. That's what the Xbox One and PS4 ones was called.
Why didn't they give us the game or give us the remastered thing? Just charge us like $5 for it for the people who have the game on PC.
Because, dude, you'd buy it again.
Exact Todd Howard, man. I swear.
Good old Toddy boy.
Golly.
It's fun. Like I love Todd Howard because he's, by his own fans, loved and hated by the same people. The same people love him. Because when Todd Howard does something good, everyone's like, "All hail Todd."
Yeah, like he does good things and then he does terrible things.
And it's so we love him. People love him always and they hate him always. Like, for example, when he announced a multiplayer Fallout game, all hail the magical Todd. When that game released,
he has betrayed us.
Oh man, I remember that was fun. It's just you ran out of things to do.
It was fun for like 5 hours, yeah, and then
like
no content.
Well, like that was the thing. Like it was a lot of fun to do, and like it had a story. I think I would have liked it better if there wasn't that little story mode thing. Because the story mode they gave you was like so bare bones and stupid.
Right.
That I would have been better if it was just like an open sandbox sort of deal, like just a survival game sort of deal, more along the lines of like 7 Days to Die or Minecraft. Just
I know. I mean, they added NPCs finally.
Well, yeah, I know they added. We talked about they added that like back in November or something like that. Like,
yeah, forever ago, but it was too late by that time.
I know so many people abandoned because like there were so many major glitches in that game. That famous one of the dire wolf I sent you, where like the dire wolf's
body stretching.
Well, like the dire wolf's tail and hind legs are on the ground, and the top of it was up in like.
Yeah, you got that, and then I forget like.
Well, remember I think I saw more glitches than you personally. I saw so because do you remember the firefighter challenge glitch I had?
I remember the mission. I don't remember.
Well, so the firefighter mission, if I remember correctly, it was hit a button. All these walkers would. Well, no, what do they call them?
Oh, that one, yeah. They're called. Oh crap.
Ghouls.
Yeah. Yes. But
I'm trying to remember what they're called.
They're called. They're called ghouls, but the bad ones are called feral ghouls.
That's it. I think it was all just feral ghouls. It spawns like about 25 to 50 feral ghouls, and you're supposed to parkour through all of them, fight them, push a button, and then run back. And you were telling me, like, dude, this quest is really hard. When I got that quest, and then I hit the button spawned, none of the ghouls spawned, and I just kind of.
Yeah.
And
you round this corner and it's supposed to spawn. I mean, because the server like lags, or you lag because it spawns a bunch of entities and your computer's like for a second. But yeah, you round the corner and they're supposed to spawn. And you get chased all the way back, and you don't have time to fight, so you just have to run. And he didn't get any of them.
Dude, it was so funny to me because you were like warning me, like, dude, watch out. This one's actually hard.
Yeah, dude. I was like, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be careful. And then Ken's like, I didn't get a single ghoul.
Like, because I remember I can't remember who we were playing with. We were playing with someone from that old Discord of ours. Mm-hmm. Like, I am doing it while you two are doing another mission. I'm like, Hubert, what's supposed to happen in this mission?
Yeah.
And he's like, you're supposed to be chased. And then I was like, I just did it. I just ran and touched a button and ran back. But no,
dude, you became a firefighter, or was it fire? I forget what
you got some special armor or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that gave you like fire resistance, so you could go into like a lava cave and just be like. "Ah."
Yeah, and then I'm calling it Elder Scrolls 6 coming out 2022. And that's my call. The reason being is I know they didn't work on it immediately as soon as Skyrim came out. There's no way. Because I knew they were working on Dawnguard and the Dragonborn DLC. Because they had me. That's
Yeah.
they had.
Oh yeah. Well, but here's the thing: you have to realize, like, I honestly believe that they were not like I believe they weren't working on this until 2015 or something like that. Like,
No, I agree. 2015. Yeah, I think 2015 they sat down and said, okay,
let's do the next Elder Scrolls
yeah,
game.
basically. And I think by this point, I think they have all the voice lines recorded for the main characters, main cast, and everything. They have a rough sketch of the map done layout wise. They have most of the code done for the map, like physics and stuff. I think all they need to do is
Build
the rest of it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna take them 2 years. I mean, I don't know how long that stuff typically takes.
When did Oblivion come out?
I looked this up. Skyrim, between Oblivion and Skyrim, I think it was like 5 years when it came out.
Wait a minute. One.
I think it came out in
Elder Scrolls
2006.
4 Oblivion released May 2nd, 2006.
It was crazy, dude. I
And
was
then
like,
5-year turnaround for one of the best games of a generation.
yeah.
For that console generation, like the Xbox 360 PS3 days.
360, yeah.
That was like at that time, if you hadn't played Skyrim, you were like missing out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
And now here we are 9 years. Hold on, I have to find this out. Like, what's the longest gap? Have we officially? Let's see. Morrowind. When did Morrowind come out?
2002.
Morrowind was 2003.
Oh crap!
So that's a 3-year gap.
That's what I'm saying. Between it's like they went from like being quickly to 5-year gap. So now maybe
Daggerfall was originally released in 96, so that would be a 7-year gap. That's a pretty sizable gap.
Yeah, that's a normal though, I'd say.
And then let's see oh wow. Well, so like it's weird. So Elder Scrolls Arena, which is nothing like Skyrim is now, but that came out in 94, so it was 94, 96, 2002, 2006, 2011. Oh, and they're counting Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
And that was 2014.
No one counts those.
Yeah, I was about to say no one does. And then since a mainline Elder Scrolls game, we are on 9 years, and oof. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say 2021, only because I believe they're really gonna push the 10-year anniversary sort of angle of it. Like like it's been like let me tell you what I see. I see at E3 the Bethesda breast conference. Yes. It's gonna be like, hey everybody, it's like. It's been 10 years since Skyrim, and it's like, we have a special edition for you, and it's going to start off as a joke trailer for a 10-year anniversary edition of Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to morph into whatever they call the 6th one.
People are speculating it's going to be in Hammerfell. Because Hammerfell is mentioned. So I watched a video on it, and all right. Purely theory, because I mean, there's no real confirmation. But they said in Oblivion, because I haven't played Oblivion, but apparently it's good. I need to still play it. But in Oblivion, there was a bunch of mentions of Skyrim in Oblivion.
Okay.
And then they say in Morrowind, there was a bunch of mentions for Oblivion. I think Oblivion takes place in Cyrodiil. Can't exactly remember. But so in Skyrim, there's a bunch of quests that have to do with Hammerfell. So people are like, oh, maybe Hammerfell is going to be the next one. Which, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do there.
Morrowind took place in Wardenfell, it looks like.
Okay.
An island in the Dunmar province of Morrowind. Part of the continent of Tamriel.
So, yeah, dude. So, and the games, they're all, story-wise. In Skyrim, you can there's a bunch of references to the Oblivion Crisis and what happened in Morrowind with the red volcano mountain blowing up or whatever. So in this next game, they're going to be referencing the Dragonborn. There's no way. I mean, they're going to say something about them. So I can't wait to see how they reference.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Well, like
or maybe you'll meet yourself. That'd be really cool.
Well, like oh man, that's where it gets weird. Stuff like that. Like
yeah.
Like Destiny 2 half did that with Destiny 1. They're like, hey, it's like you remind me of a guardian I met like about 4 years ago.
Like, hey, that was me.
I know him.
I know him.
That was me. I am him, or whatever the quote is. It's I know. What is
of course,
it?
I know him. He's
me. He is me. Hold on, I'm gonna look.
Of course, I know him.
Of course, I know him. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The quote. Yep. The quote is, of course I know him. He's me. That's such a great line. Just, of course I know him. He's me.
I'm he and he is me.
Yeah, that's great. Still need to watch the new Clone Wars season. Haven't watched a single one.
I actually watched it the other day.
Is it? Well, how many episodes are they into it right now?
7.
7? Okay.
They just released one this week. So,
yeah.
I'd say first 3 felt like Clone Wars, 100% great. The next 2 did not feel like Clone Wars at all. Like,
what is it? What do you? Okay, I'm curious. What? Because I'm a huge fan of Clone Wars, and I haven't watched the new season. So
Clone Wars
what do you mean? What does Clone Wars mean to you? I'm gonna get. Hold on, give me a second. We're getting red lights for this.
Oh. You gotta play. You gotta start playing the Sith theme.
Yeah.
But Clone Wars to me is like, either Jedi fighting Dooku Grievous, because those are the 2 main characters in the Clone Wars. Clones and droids fighting each other, and basically more or less just clones and Jedi fighting, or just clones or just droid, like one of those things. But after the first 3 episodes, which were fantastic, like they brought the nostalgia back hard. But after that, we see Ahsoka, because she's not in the Jedi Order anymore.
Yes, of course.
And she doesn't have her lightsabers either.
Yeah, of course. But we know she
we know she gets them because there's a trailer.
Well, no, because she appears in Rebels, I believe.
Yeah, no, Rebels she has her white ones, and this one Anakin gives her blue ones. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about, because I never watched Rebels, but I do have a big Star Wars friend of mine who watched Rebels, and I asked him what are key things that I should look for in Clone Wars that Rebels sets up, and he just rattled them all up. He's like,
yeah.
And I was like, all right, thanks, dude. And I'm like, because I never really was interested in Rebels as a show.
No, I don't think many people were.
Yeah, well, I always was confused by Rebels, because Rebels, I don't know which character it is, but one of the characters' names is Kanan.
Yeah,
And so I would be like, I never had Disney XD, so I never watched it at the time it was releasing, but I would be at a friend's house or something like that, and it would be on TV, and it would be like Kanan, and like most people grow accustomed to hearing their name and not responding.
Right.
I never got used to that. So every time without a fail, if I hear my name, I will look.
What?
And that's because I'm not used to hearing my name everywhere. Right. Unlike you with a name like David or Daniel Sant, any of those sort of common names, Kanan you don't hear. And so oh man, when I watched the anime Kanan starring the female protagonist Kanan, spelled the same way too, I was like,
Kanan.
Well, I would have my earbuds in and I would hear Kanan, and those times when you're like, was that in the show or was that outside the show? Yeah. Where you're you hear something and you're like, wait a minute. So that would happen 20 times in that show. They're like, Kanan, and I would be like,
you do huh?
Who?
What? We can call you.
No, I'm watching anime.
So yeah, first three great. I guess the next three weren't. Wait, yeah, next three weren't, and then episode 7
You haven't watched
made
it.
it feel like no, I watched it. Made it feel like a
Clone Wars again.
Clone Wars again, yeah. So
I've just been requested by Sam to show a video something that happened 3 years ago today.
What's today? The 12th of April, 2017. So I'd be 16.
I'll show it to the camera. Sam, oh man.
Yeah, that's 11th grade.
All right, I'm not sure if you're ready for this.
Sam.
All right.
Oh yeah. I remember that, dude.
Oh my god. So essentially the context of that very blurry video that even on the YouTube version you can't see. So what it was is me, Sam, and this guy at our church named Daniel. Not the Daniel that's been on this podcast. That's me. Yeah, not the Daniel you guys know, but my Daniel.
His Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, we would always come up with these really stupid ideas. And we would always, because I knew production stuff, and Sam would help me, and then Daniel also sort of knew what we were doing, we'd always come up with the dumbest ideas and do it. And what it was, the context for that one was, it was nearing Easter. I can't remember if it was the week after Easter, or the Wednesday after Easter, or the Wednesday before Easter, but it was near Easter.
Okay.
And we had this giant cross as sort of an example for one of the points or something like that. So we jokingly decided that we would change all the light colors to red.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of which, let me change it back to the neutral purple I go with. So we changed all the colors to red. We put fire on the screens. Played the 300 soundtrack while Daniel just stood there and just accepted. And it was so great. I tease Daniel about it all the time. I'm always like, hey Daniel, do you remember what happened April 12th, 2017?
2017? He's like,
and he's like, what happened April 12th, 2017? And I just pull up the video and he goes,
yeah.
And he's like, don't show that. I'm a youth pastor now. He was an intern at the time of making that video. Oh man, that's fun. The good old days.
Good old days
of careless abandon. Yeah, I know, good old days of 2017 when the world was
still spinning.
Yeah, the world was still functioning. Golly bum. All right, well, what was I about to? My brain was thinking of something. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah, but yeah, I still haven't watched a single episode of the new Clone Wars series. Well, I don't know why. Just haven't. I've been watching other things. I'm currently rewatching the show Community because it got released on Netflix.
Right.
And I'm currently at the end of its second season, and it's great. I'll say this about Community: the first 3 seasons of that show are amazing television.
Mm-hmm.
It has 6 seasons. Well, and let me explain what happened. There is actually a reason why it happened. So, the first 3 seasons came out. And actually, for anyone who doesn't know, Huber, you actually know the creator. You've watched something the creator of Community has also made.
What?
The creator of Community is Dan Harmon, one of the writers on Rick and Morty.
For Rick and Morty.
Co-creator and writer of Rick and Morty. So... He did the first 3 seasons, and then I can't remember. I don't know all the details, but he essentially got like blacklisted from Hollywood for a year because I think he basically did a minor version of Me Too, like he was just mean to women or something like that, like not abusive to them. But he was just rude and misogynistic to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the first 3 seasons, you can tell that's his case because he has a character who's super liberal right sort of deal, and he wrote her in a way that you hate her.
Nice.
And like all the characters, every time she makes a speech, you're just like, shut up.
Yeah.
And then like the other girl is like way overly sexualized, but she's a fun character.
She's hot.
And so
oh, love you so.
So the show is absolutely hilarious. One of my favorite. I showed you that one clip of for you and Noah, that racist one.
Yes.
Another great clip. I think I mentioned this last week as well. They were talking, and he said, Pierce, which is Pierce is my favorite character in the show. He's only in the first 3 seasons, and he dies halfway through the 4th season due to some conflicts. The actor who played him didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
He's my favorite because he's old and he's just racist. He's offensive in every way, but he like thinks he's not offensive.
Right.
And he goes like, this one character's like, Pierce, you're sexually harassing me, and he goes, harassment? Why would I harass? Why would I harass someone who turns me on?
It's true. That's true, dude. He's speaking truth.
And he's just so. Oh my gosh! It's just. And it's such a great show, and there's these 2 black characters in the show who are very funny people, and basically they start off, someone says something like slightly racist, and he goes, and then the main character kind of goes like, I bet Pierce will top that racist comment in 2 minutes, starts a timer, and then later one of the black guys, like, he's like, basically one of them is named Shirley. She is this older sassy black woman, and then there's Troy, who's college age.
Huh?
And Shirley's telling him, like, Troy, you can't do that. And he goes, you're not my mom. Pierce goes, she isn't. And he's like, and there we go.
There it is.
There it is. There's so many great, like, quick little things that are just so funny in that show. It's just, it's, and you'll never hear the end of that community discussion because my laptop pooped out on me. And
it pooped out just now after you looked away. No.
Oh gosh. And so basically, summary, Community's really good for 3 seasons, but it has 6 seasons, and seasons 5 and 6 aren't as bad as 4, but yeah.
That's it.
Speaking of shows with multiple seasons, Huber, you finally started watching My Hero Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you said to me before we started, you finished the first half?
Yes.
The first, technically the first arc.
Yes.
It's a long arc.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you stand? What are your thoughts currently? While I monitor my Mac.
I think it was good. I think there were 2 episodes where I think it was unnecessary. The Red Riot episode, going back into his entire past. To me, like, I think that should have happened, but not in that like crucial, intense situation.
Well, so like the thing is that I agree, but I disagree only because I love all the background we've been given on certain characters.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
granted,
I'm all for background.
Like it's kind of weird to be doing such an in-depth character dive in the middle of this huge police raid, but like I'm personally fine with it because after that episode, I like Red Riot more. Like I like Kirishima as a character more. He's more interesting to me because he's always said like I'm all about being manly and stuff like that. But then you find out that's because he wasn't manly and he's a coward and he really just wants to be a hero that never quits. And it's like, oh, that's sweet. All right. What other episode? I think I know what the other episode might be.
No, it was the one before that, right? There's another character that went to their background. I actually don't remember now.
I don't think there's another background episode. The only episode in the whole first arc that I'm not a huge fan of, but it needs to happen because it sets up something later in the arc, is the episode where it follows Toga and Twice for the episode.
Which one?
I can't remember when it is in relative to what episode it is, but the one where it follows Toga and Twice and as they join the Hasaikai group, and like how they are going to backstab the Hasaikai group.
Oh, that episode
with Toga and Twice.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on, I know what this is about. Wrapping up now. Yeah. All right. So, what other episode that you?
I think overall it was good. The character that died. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I don't feel emotion just because I didn't know him.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's the first major death in the show, sort of.
Right.
And I don't think we're supposed to feel for it. I think we're supposed to be telling us like, hey, we're killing people now. Because in what I'm reading currently, which is honestly probably like not till the end of season 5, but honestly they might try to push it back to season 6 because I'm not sure how long this is a long arc I'm reading, like because the thing is that the overhaul arc, as it's been referred to as, that arc was the longest arc in the manga up and like at that point, and right. So we're like, man, this is gonna be a long. What I'm reading now, I'm like,
it's even longer.
It's so long. Like, it is a 24 episode season arc.
Oh god.
Like, honestly, because I am reading this and I am like, we are nowhere near the conclusion of this. But like, oh man, they've had some good fights show up, and then it's funny. The saddest death so far in that arc was for a non-good guy, I'll say. It's for a bad guy. One of the bad guys' deaths like actually got to me. I was like, man.
I think Twice is probably the only one right now that I would probably feel for.
That's interesting, dude.
Because, he just seems like a messed up person.
Yeah, he's
not bad, just messed up.
Well, so the thing is that you'll be excited for this in the 5th season. Well, at least what's coming up in the manga. There's a whole section where it follows the villains for a chunk. And you get the backstory of most of the League of Villains. The only one you don't get backstory on is Dobby.
That's the fire one, right?
Yeah, that's the fire one, which pisses me off.
Yeah, he seems interesting, dude.
Well, so here's the thing. There are so many theories on who he is, and currently, I'll let you know this, only because it pissed me off so much. What I've read, what I literally just read like a week ago, they are setting up to reveal who he is. When he is saying who he is, they black out the speech bubble.
In the manga?
In the manga. Hold on, I'll pull this up. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, you can't do... You've been tagging us along on who this guy is for so long.
I wonder if a copy is like unblurred somewhere.
No, it legit is just... Like, it's not like it's censored. It's literally just blacked out. It's just...
I am the secret love child of
so I'll let you know what the current theory is. A lot of people believe that he is the missing Todoroki child, because Endeavor had 4 kids. I can't remember their names. There's Shota Todoroki, who we've been following, and then he has a brother, a sister, and then he had another brother named Kyoya, who something happened to. Everyone's like, oh man, it's a shame what happened to Kyoya.
It's a shame, guys.
And like, hold on, is this it where you find out who he is? Like, it's... And all you see is like him saying the blacked out speech bubble followed by like a character's reaction to the whole thing. Like, yeah, look at this. Like, it's just a blacked out speech bubble. Like an entirely blacked out speech bubble, and then like a face of like... It's just...
You're like, who is it?
And I'm like, dude, no, you do the black speech bubble in like season 2, not in what's looking like seasons. I'm like, dude, oh man, because I'm really liking what I'm reading, and I'm dude, it's Like, let me tell you, like, I've been reading this arc for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And at where I am, the king pawn just moved. Like,
Okay.
it's like they've been building up this whole fight, and it's been all these cool little small fights, but now like one of the big members on one side of the team has officially made his first, not appearance, but move, like his first action sort of, and it's like
it's happening.
Yeah. Well, no, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hope you enjoy the rest of season 4. Gonna let you know.
It's a school festival, right?
It's a school festival arc, but the last it's actually a pretty good school festival arc, that being said, but the last 2 episodes are another big fight that happened, and it's a pretty good fight. I snuck a peek at the episode because... Alright, so let's start wrapping this up here. What's your fun fact of the day?
So, my fun fact of the day, talking about chocolates, because that's what we were talking about earlier. It just reminded me, so America is the only country that I know so far, from what I've been told, that puts this bitter, like, I don't know what it's called, but some sort of bitter chemical in their chocolate. And that's
why Europe people don't like our chocolates.
Yep. And I've tried, foreign chocolate, and I like the foreign chocolate better, because it doesn't taste like crap.
I like chocolate in general.
I don't like, the Hershey's, these little Hershey's, they're bitter. But the, if you get like a candy bar, like a, I don't know.
Yeah,
let me see.
I'm trying to see if I can find any good articles of weird news, because all I'm seeing is like this story of a Florida man who's been coughing on police officers. Like,
it's all good.
Yeah, always fun like that. All right,
the usual
Florida man freaking out. I think I talked about this already, but actually, you know what? This is kind of sad, but it's also kind of funny. Truck stuffed with toilet paper catches fire on Texas interstate. Hutchins, Texas. A tractor trailer hauling toilet paper crashed and caught fire near Dallas early Wednesday, spilling the hot commodity all over the interstate. The fire shut down the west. And so, like, when you look into it more, it's a little sad because you find out it's like a delivery truck that was trying to get toilet paper to like a store.
Right.
But I originally, when I read that headline, I saw this headline like last week, and I just didn't talk about it. I was just imagining a dude in his pickup, like, gotta get them TP, and just,
yes, sir.
and then just combusting into flames. Oh, wow. And then there's a couple pictures of a lady who made a wedding dress out of toilet paper. Oh, how the rich live. Wow. There are multiple people who made toilet paper wedding dresses. What?
I mean, what can you do?
Well, this has been episode 58 of the Scatterpot podcast. We found out women
are crazy.
Huber said it, not me.
Women are crazy. It's true.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you guys enjoyed the parts that you didn't get to hear as well, because my mic cut out. But yeah, have a grand old time. See you guys next week. See you next week. Hopefully we'll have a guest next week.
It's possible.
Possibility. Bye bye.